Hi there, what's going on? This Bible study is going to be based on the Abomination of Desolation. There is three accounts in the Gospels that mentions this event. One is found in Matthew chapter 24. The other one is found in Mark chapter 13 and also Luke chapter 21. Now, there's two takes on this event. Some believe that the Abomination of Desolation already happened, and some believe that it's for the future. Well, hopefully after this study, this teaching, you might see when this event is happening or going to happen, or did it already happen. So I hope to shed some light on there. I don't claim to know everything, but I just think this might be very informative for you. Just listen with an open heart. So let's start with Matthew chapter 24. Let's read what Jesus has to say about this event. And let's see when this event is going to take place or if it already did. So let's go to Matthew chapter 24. And we'll start with verse 15. Now this is Jesus speaking to his disciples. When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet stand in the holy place, whoso readeth, let him understand. Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains, and let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house. Neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes. And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. Now, Jesus basically talks about what is going to happen during this event, what to look out for, what you should do and shouldn't do. So, to better understand when this event happen, we need to see who asked the question and what is being asked, and how Jesus started answering this question when it was asked by the disciple. I believe the key to helping me understand this will be found in Matthew chapter 24, the first couple of verses 1, 2, and 3. Now let's start with verse 1 in Matthew 24. And Jesus went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to show him the buildings of the temple. And Jesus said unto them, See ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? What shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? So what you have to understand here, three questions are being asked by the disciples. They want to know when the temple is going to be destroyed, because Jesus is telling them there's not going to be one stone that's going to be left upon another. And then the disciples wanted to know when is going to be the sign of your coming, and also what's the other sign at the end of the world. So now, if you look at the way Jesus answered these questions, Jesus does not answer these questions in the order that it was asked. We've all done this. We've been asked a series of questions, and we don't necessarily answer it 1, 2, 3 the way the person asks it. Sometimes we start with the first one first, the last one first, or the second one first. But in this case here, Jesus starts with the last question that is asked. He starts by answering it first. If you look in, we're still in Matthew chapter 24. Let's go to when Jesus starts answering the disciples' question. So verse 4, Jesus is going to answer the question, one of the questions that the disciples asked. And you tell me out of the three, is this the one about the destruction of the temple? Is it about his second coming, or is he answering this about the end of the world? So I'll read these verses, and it pretty much tells you which one of these questions that Jesus is answering. So in verse 4, Jesus answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many. Ye shall hear of wars, rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nations shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence, and earthquakes in divers places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and then ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. Many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. So obviously, verse 14 tells us that Jesus is answering this question. The question that Jesus is answering is about the end of the world. It's not about the destruction of the temple. Now, he continues in verse 15 through 22. No, I take that back. Verse 15 through 20. Now, that's the part where we just read before concerning the abomination of desolation. So that part is about the destruction of the temple. Now, the next part, from verse 21 all the way to, I believe it's verse 31. Now, that talks about his second coming. So, obviously, we could see that these questions are not answered in the same order that it was asked. So, and the reason why I bring this point up, because a lot of people still think that the abomination is a future event. So they link the abomination with events that's going to happen in the future. And there's no way, after these scriptures that I'm getting ready to show you, there's no way you could say that this abomination of desolation event is going to happen in the future. I believe it's already happened. Like Jesus said, spoken of by Daniel the prophet. Daniel chapter 9 talked about this abomination desolation. He's made a good case for it. This is if you're familiar with Daniel's 70 weeks, that's another study that I'll do in the future. But for now, we won't focus on Daniel's 70 weeks because we don't have time for that right now. But I will touch up on it though. So the abomination desolation is an event that happened during 70 AD. The prophet Ezekiel gives us a lot of reference to this. He mentions what was going to happen to the Jewish people, what was going to happen to the city, to the sanctuary or the temple. So it's a good place to start. So this video is going to be more than one part. So for time's sake, and since if I decide to put it on YouTube, so I'm going to stop here because YouTube limits videos no more than 10 minutes. I don't want to make this first part too long, so I'll continue on the next part.